Star Wars, the dramatic space opera that took the world by storm. After creator George Lucas said that he had no plans of making any sequels, he decided to hand over the reins to Disney. In 2015, they released their first movie of their own trilogy entitled The Force Awakens. After its release, it became one of the highest-grossing films of all time. What was the key to all this success? Nostalgia. Back then, fans were itching to see what Disney would do with the franchise. Trailers hinted at the return of some iconic characters interacting with new ones, reviving a fan base that was in hiding. With callbacks to previous films, characters we've never thought we'd see again, and dialogue mimicking some classic moments,
I got a bad feeling about this.
Disney's approach was apparent. Make a movie for the longtime Star Wars fans.
Why we were telling this story, and it was to give people that sense of possibility and magic that we all felt when we first saw the original Star Wars.
With scenes practically being replicated over and over again, Disney's direction with Star Wars begins to feel like a nostalgic overload. This type of nostalgia was categorized by scholar Svetlana Boyum as restorative. In her essay, Nostalgia and Its Discontents, she explains that restorative nostalgia does not think of itself as nostalgia, but rather as truth and tradition. In other words, restorative nostalgia is an unhealthy, forceful retrieval of the past. Whether or not Disney sees this restorative nostalgia begins to bleed into the rest of their films. This is due to repeating character dynamics and plot points that push the new trilogy along. The lead character of Disney's trilogy is Rey. Although Star Wars fans haven't seen a main female lead before, her character mimics that of Luke Skywalker. Both of them live on sandy planets, unsure of who they are or who their family is, both unknowingly great pilots and strong with the Force. Their call to adventure is even the same, where they encounter a lost yet lovable droid, holding important information that's being sought out by practically everyone. They even witness the death of their older mentor, which pushes them into becoming a hero. Like the past trilogies, this trio pushes their movies. One is a sarcastic, witty pilot.
So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
Another is a strong, determined sibling-like character.
Brought me to Rey and Poe.
And we have the Jedi, who ends up winning in the end.
Rey Skywalker.
We follow this trio through their 3 films, where they try to stop their enemy's large, planet-destroying space station. The lead antagonist is a masked, misunderstood villain with anger issues, whose only motivation seems to be to turn the lead to their side.
I can show you the ways of the Force!
In the end, he uses all his strength to save the main character, ultimately giving him a redemption. Any of this sound familiar? This familiarity is why these movies are so popular. Disney markets them in a way that makes you feel nostalgic. Because of this restorative nostalgia, fans get invested. When going to see these movies, they hope to get the same feeling that they've gotten from other Star Wars films. Disney continued with this, most notably in the new trilogy with Emperor Palpatine. This character was believed to have been dead after the redemption of Darth Vader or Anakin Skywalker. In Episode 9, Disney brought him back with what only seemed to be motivated by nostalgia.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Little explanation of his revival resulted in the trilogy to feel unconnected. And this is what restorative nostalgia can do, attempting to bring back something that will ultimately hurt in the long run. Needless to say, Disney's never done with these nostalgia grabs. This is prevalent with the arrival of Disney+. With this platform, they're able to move the nostalgia from movie screens to television ones. Shows like The Mandalorian and The Book of Boba Fett rely heavily on the films and even bring back characters that we've seen before. They've even gone as far as to CGI a young Luke Skywalker. Regardless, nostalgia has always played a key part in the Star Wars franchise. This next wave of Star Wars fans will have nostalgia as an essential part of the series. Being a story of generations and found family, it's no surprise that nostalgia will always be with them.